It is not sufficient that I succeed. The greatest happiness is to vanquish your enemies, to chase them before you, to rob them of their wealth, to see those dear to them bathed in tears, to clasp to your bosom their wives and daughters. Conquering the world on horseback is easy. It is dismounting and governing that is hard. An action committed in anger is an action doomed to failure. I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. The strength of a wall is neither greater nor less than the men who defend it. A man's greatest joy is crushing his enemies. The greatest warriors ride their horses into battle without reins. I am the flail of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. The man who has riches without understanding is like the beasts that perish. A leader can never be happy until his people are happy. The strength of a family, like the strength of an army, is in its loyalty to each other. A leader leads by example, not by force. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. The strength of a nation lies in the character of its people. A wise ruler does not reward the past. He punishes the present and is cautious of the future. Do not scorn a weak cub. He may become the brutal tiger. A man's greatest treasure is his wife. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. A wise ruler does not measure his strength against his rivals. He measures his strength against the challenges he faces. The strength of a leader lies in his ability to make decisions. A wise ruler knows when to be ruthless and when to be merciful. The strength of a warrior is not in his weapons, but in his heart. The greatest victories are those won without fighting. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. In the spirit of unity, there is strength. A united family is an unbreakable fortress. One arrow alone can be easily broken, but many arrows are indestructible. A wise ruler listens to the counsel of his advisors, but makes his own decisions. The most dangerous enemies are those who are loyal to a cause, not to a person. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. A leader must be both flexible and firm, adapting to circumstances but remaining true to principles. The strength of a nation lies in the education of its people. A leader must inspire his people to achieve greatness. The secret to happiness is freedom, and the secret to freedom is courage. A wise ruler builds bridges, not walls. The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. A man without a purpose is like a ship without a rudder. It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. The true measure of a man is how he treats someone who can do him absolutely no good. A wise ruler values the counsel of those with different perspectives. The strength of a nation lies in the happiness of its people. A wise ruler seeks peace, but is prepared for war. The greatest pleasure is to vanquish your enemies and chase them before you. A true leader serves his people, not his own interests. The strength of a leader is in his ability to build alliances. A wise ruler knows when to be patient and when to act swiftly. The greatest accomplishment is not in never falling, but in rising again after you fall. A leader who does not take risks is not fit to lead. The greatest teacher is experience. A true warrior fights not because he hates what is in. The strength of a nation lies in the resilience of its people. A wise ruler values the well-being of his people over personal glory. The greatest leaders are those who empower others to lead. A leader must be just and merciful, firm but compassionate. The strength of a family is in its unity. A true leader inspires others to believe in themselves. The greatest battles are not fought with weapons, but with the mind. A wise ruler understands the value of diplomacy. The strength of a leader is in his ability to learn from his mistakes. A leader must be decisive, but not impulsive. The greatest enemy is the one who pretends to be your friend. A wise ruler seeks the welfare of his people, not personal gain. The strength of a nation lies in its justice system. A true leader leads with humility, not arrogance. The greatest virtue is to act without a motive for personal gain. A wise ruler is fair and impartial in judgment. The strength of a warrior is in his discipline. A leader must have a vision and the ability to communicate it effectively. The greatest leaders are those who leave a lasting legacy. A wise ruler builds a legacy of peace and prosperity. The strength of a nation lies in the character of its leaders. A true leader leads with integrity and honesty. The greatest victories are won with strategy, not brute force. A wise ruler knows when to be silent and when to speak. The strength of a leader is in his ability to inspire loyalty. A leader must have the courage to face criticism and dissent. The greatest triumph is to conquer oneself. A wise ruler values the wisdom of the elderly and the enthusiasm of the youth.